welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and here today is Free Pattern Friday. Yay! Free Pattern Friday. And today is a special Free Pattern Friday because we're giving you two different patterns to come up with from the same design. One using a standard pantry item that we use when we're doing, let's say, the potato chip block, right, where it's a 2 by 3.5 inch brick, and the other ones where we're using a 2.5 by 4.5 inch brick. So those for me are pantry item kind of things that we keep around the sewing room. So the cutting instructions and all that will be in the show notes below, as well as the YouTube link for the Little Quilter. Now go check her out. It's fun, it's quite delightful. And when it's a surprise shout out for her. So, don't, like when you go there, just tell her Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you, surprise, and then she'll get some viewers maybe if you like what you see over there. So the other thing is in the show notes is going to be our Facebook group and our Zoom sew dates. Now the Facebook group, we all meet, we share pictures, we sew in virtual sewing rooms with our friends, and we meet other members within the group. The Zoom sew date meetings are all listed from now until December 2023, and then we'll give you a new list. We're doing the first Saturday of the month unless it falls on a statutory holiday weekend, and then it's the following one. So share, like, and subscribe with your friends. We're still giving free virtual chat speaking engagements to guilds. So if you are part of a quilt guild, let them know that I'm giving out free ones, and if they're interested, I'll be happy to attend on Zoom to their their meeting. So come on in. We got lots of sewing. We got 2 blocks to sew today. Okay, here we go. This is bricks, right? This is the layout you would pick. And you can see you've got some pretty little florals. There's other things that kind of look like solids or going to read solids. But you want some brightness and want some color, different things. Otherwise it looks like a big, blue mush, right? Now on the other one, this one is 2 inch by 3.5. This is the same size as what I use for my potato chip blocks. A perfect scrap buster, but so is this. And you don't have to have 6 of each color. You can have 4 and 2 different ones, so that would work as well, right? Now this one, I decided to pick my low volume blues, or lower, because I wanted something a little more subtle. Now this one's going to finish out at 16.5 unfinished, and the other one here is going to be 12.5 unfinished. But here I'm using 2.5 by 4.5 inch blocks. So let's get to this sewing here, because otherwise we're going to be here for a while. So basically this comes down to running through, and I'm going to be webbing these, and once you get them all lined up, it doesn't take long to make a quilt. Not at all. Some people say, well, you only need to make, 1 quilt at a time. And that's true. You only need to make 1 block at a time. But if you're, you're kind of in a hurry and you've got lots of these little bricks, it would be nice to get through them quickly. And it is going to be a bright pop in a quilt, right? To have all these little bricks come together. So this one is just blindingly simple. And like I say, we're doing it 2 different sizes. So now there's my first row of 2 inch, and I'm just going to continue with this. No, on second thought, you know what? I'm going to run a leader ender through, because I think you guys might get confused. So I'm going to stop and run a leader ender through. Just to do it, the webbing the same way. Because once you learn how to do webbing, guys, this is so much quicker. So much quicker, and you don't lose your spot. And you never lose your spot. So I laid it out like this, and now we're going to lay it out like this. Basically, we're going to open it up just like that, and we're going to go across again, right? So here we are. Oh, now we'll just get this rolling right along. Okay. And the next one opens up. Perfect. Actually, I did videos here I can't remember where they're when they're gonna fall or when they're gonna drop. The video's coming out, but it's where I've webbed an entire quilt and showed you the same technique with quilts, and it is just lightning fast, so simple, you know, so very, very quick. Okay, here we go. Ooh. There, nice. And I'm just going to show this here right away. This got lost for half a second, so I thought, oh, I better stop before we do something dumb. If you're tiring, I don't know, like, I find if I'm getting tired, by the end of the day, I'm tired. And I have to switch gears and do something like, you know, hand sewing or whatever. If I still need, you know, to do something with my hands, because that's what basically is, you know, sewing is therapy for my hands. I just keep my hands moving. And I find that that just works so great for me. Okay, I'm going to lay it all back out again, just to see where we're at. So I'm going to start with this. And, oh, okay. And this actually, once you get the hang of webbing, you can do more than one thing at once. Right? That's the other beauty of webbing. You know, I think out of all the fabric, this one's my favorite that I put into this block. Because it's that, I can't remember what fabric that one was. Like I say, I deal with scraps. I can't even tell you where to go get this stuff, right? I mean, and I see some of the other YouTubers, oh, pick up this line, pick up that line. I'm like, I have no idea where mine's coming from half the time. Or that I bought it so long ago, I can't remember. Or I've cut the selvage off and I have no idea what it is anymore. It's like, other than cotton, I have no clue. Okay, so there we've webbed one entire one. And it didn't take us that long. We're going to do the same thing here with this paler blue one. And we'll just get that one going. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to just drop this one on my lap. There. Okay. Yeah, these are great. Anyways, the last couple of speaking engagements I've had, the quilts that were on the show and tell were just stunning. Oh my gosh, they were gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And I felt so good about, you know, being there and being able to share with them, and it was just such a nice couple of groups of ladies that I talked with. Just gorgeous. Just wonderful hanging out with people like that, you know. Okay, here we go, another one. Yeah. Some very talented people out there that are, you know, sitting and, you know, just waiting for somebody to come along and say, hi, how did you make that, you know? And they would gladly tell you, I'm sure. Or they would tell you where the pattern was or what inspired them, or, you know. It's always cool to go hang out with people from Gills. So now, the next one. Let's get the blue. Okay. See, if I'd have done this at the same time, I might have gotten confused. So, there, I'm probably, okay. Ah. So I'm just reaching over and grabbing the next one down. Now I've got some larger scale prints in here too. Like, this print is one of these prints that you just, it kind of looks like, you know, fake quilting, but it's not. I can't remember where I picked up this stripe, but I just think this stripe is wonderful. And it's a woven stripe. And here. So yeah, these are, you know, this would be great for a softer palette block, but So this is beautiful too, right? Don't be afraid to mix up textures, right? Like getting a vertical, a stripe, you know, something that reads like solids, a graphic. I mean, all of those are important to have in your quilts, right? I mean, that's what people are looking for, right? In quilting is the variety of little bits of fabric, especially when you're doing scrap quilt. You know, they're looking for little bits and bobs of variety. Okay, last row goes on real nice. And just like that. Get that off. Oops. Oh. There. Now, if I had a whole stack of stuff here, I might be tempted to do all of row 1 and 2 together and then come back and do all row like 3 and then all row 4. That's entirely up to you. That, you know, some people, they hear that idea and they just cringe and they just like, no, don't do it, don't do it. So, I mean, it's you know, what you got to do what you feel comfortable in doing, and if you don't think that that would work for you, that's fine. You know, I'm just gonna move this one out of the way. Oops, sorry. Kabang! Now we have this one off my lap. Now I'm gonna take this, and every row is gonna go a different direction. So the first row goes down and then up and then down and then up, right? So, and we're gonna do that with both rows. So the first row, you get your stitch in and you press it so it goes up. So the first row is up, where the top is going up, and the next one. Okay. And the last one is right there. Now, if you were doing one block at a time, this is where you put a leader ender. But we're doing 2 blocks. Because I want to show you this technique, because this technique is so nice. It works so well. Okay, so I lay it out. The first row goes up, the second row goes down, right? So here's row 1, and the only thing different with these two is the size of the bricks. That's it. That's the only thing that's different. And I lay it out so I know where my next row is, right? I lay it out on the side so I can see a flat thing working. So now, it's going to go in, and I might as well do all of them at once. I'm just going to cut my webbing, because I want to be able to see exactly where I need to nest. And I can't do that if I've got the string. The only thing the string is doing is keeping me from getting this all discombobulated. That's it. That's all. The only thing the string is doing right now. So if I get in there and I can see exactly where I need to nest, I know I have really nice points. There we go. And okay. And right to the end. Now, instead of running a leader ender, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack the second row. So the second row is going down, right? So this row, the third row goes up, the second row goes down. So essentially, what you're going to do is make sure you're not sewing anything. It shouldn't be sewing. Then I'm going to cut open all of this too at the same time. There we go. Because I've got my first little stitches done, and you're going to nest. You're going to be able to nest them nice and neat and tight. There. I'm going to pull this one off and line it up so I can see what I'm doing with this. Right? Nest the next one. Nice and tight. There we go. When you're doing lots of these, this becomes really, really fast. You know, when you've got a stack of them. What I have done with this particular block, if I'm going to go to a quilt retreat and I know I'm going to be talking a lot, yes, talk a lot, never going to happen. Huh? So if I'm going to be talking a lot, then I make a bunch of this, so all I have to do now is sew the row the other way, right? So I'll go pre-planned as to what I want to sew, and you know, I'll just have it all ready to go, and then I can get a bunch done and, you know, still look like I'm working or doing something other than talking. Yeah. And now we take this, lay it out, so we know what the first row, the fourth row is going to go. There we go. Just like that. See? It's all coming together. Yeah. These are nice. They're nice too. I went with a blue palette because I'm overrun with blue, right? You could put anything together that you want. You could do this any way you want. This would look great. Okay. Yeah, just like that. There. Okay, fourth row. Okay, this goes up. The third row is going up. The fourth row goes down. There. So simple. Oh, get that so it's going down. There. And nice, neat little there. Ooh, okay, so I'm laying these out. Yeah, they look great. These things look so great when they're done. They're kind of like a scrappy square, but you know, you can do scrappy rectangles from your, like I say, I try and do my 1.5, 2 inch, 2.5, and now I'm starting to do 3.5, but strips, but I try to make bricks or rectangles or squares that I use often. So I might use, okay, third goes up, fourth goes down. I might use things like 2.5 inch squares and 2 inch squares or 1.5 inch squares. So I keep those around like a pantry item. I try not to cut too many 1.5 inch squares because they breed. They breed lots. So that's where we're looking at so far. And I'm just going to make sure this is all out of the way before I start in there with a scissor. Okay, there we go. Okay, now you line this up and do the seams. There. I mean, if you want to do them one at a time and work on a leader and their project at the same time, you're more than welcome to do that. If that's, you know, that's where you're at, and you find this a little confusing, that's fine. You know, you can just do one at a time. Like I say, I try and look for an efficiency, right, or something when I'm doing a block. Where can I be more efficient in making the block or trying to do the block? And it always comes down to, can you web it? Can you web it? That's my first question, because that's the one I want to ask. Fourth row goes down, the fifth row goes up. We're just about there. We only have 6 rows. Okay. There. Now. There. These are both going to look like a wash. You know, like a wash of mediums or a wash of pales. You know. That's the beauty about these blocks. You can make them look like a wash, or you can make them look dark, or, you know, anything that you really like. You know, it works. Okay. Okay, there we go. second last row, fourth goes down, fifth goes up, and here we go. Okay, cut that out of the way. Last row to go on. See how that's coming together? Okay. And like I say, you can do lots of these at one time. Or if you find that not going to make you happy or bring you joy, that works too. You do it however you want to do it. But so yeah, but these kind of brick sizes for me are pantry sizes. Like they would be something like, you know, think kitchen pantry is just something you would always have on hand. Yes. Okay, then that's something that we want to have cut and ready to go. Okay. Last row. 5 goes up, 6 goes down. Yeah. There. Here we go. And not all quilt blocks have to be square either. You know, that's the beauty about some of these quilt blocks that you can make that are not. That they're basically rectangles that work with each other. Yeah. There we go. Okay. And the last round for this. 5 goes up, 6 goes down. Okay, there we go. Oh, last string, then we get to the ta-da moment. Okay, here we go. We run in a leader ender and we get to our ta-da moment. Yay! Okay, here we go. And we'll meet you back here or back for the ta-da moment. Okay, so these are our bricks. Now they are rectangular blocks and they're kind of cool. Now, if you wanted to make them square, you can. You can just add a couple more rows, and you're good to go. This one finished, or supposed to finish at 9.5 by 12.5, right? And I'm seeing that my 1/4 inch is a little chubby, so it'll have to go on a diet. We'll have to do a scant 1/4 inch from now on, and it does press flat. It does absolutely presses flat. We used a little bit of steam, a little bit of water. We pressed it flat in no time. Everything went nice, and we pressed all the back seams. They were sewn either up or down, so they nested, and then the back was just sewn all one direction. So that's how we did both of them. This one is 12.5 by, what do we say? 16.5. So, and this is a love, because all of this fabric is almost the same value. It looks like a wash, right? Like it kind of washes out that like paler blue, but not so pale that it's a low volume, right? But it's coming up pretty close to being a low volume. And that's a great one to get this kind of thing out of your stash. You can just create little washes of color, right? So, and again, if you wanted to make it square, you'd have to add 2 more rows. But I decided that, wow, the rectangles are fun to play with, and it gives you something different to do. When you're sewing them together, I mean, does it matter that you're sewing a rectangle or a square, right? When you're making a quilt top. So, I hope you guys give this a try, and if you like what you're seeing here, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends. Comment. Comments helps our analytics, and we try to get back to each and every one of your comments, right? So that's a good way of helping us out. So until we meet again, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week in your sewing room and you win bobbin chicken. That would be awesome. Okay, you take care. Bye! My husband and I would love to thank you for all of the amazing people that we have met along this crazy YouTube adventure that we've been having. We do free speaking engagements too, so if you're part of a guild and they're looking for, you know, people to talk and, you know, and chat with, you know, in their monthly meetings, tell them that I'm doing free ones just to help the guilds out, because it's been a tough time for the guilds as well. You know, share, like, and subscribe with your friends. You know, make sure that they're, you know, they get the word out on us. That's the best way you can do to help us out. So until we meet again, I want to thank you. Okay, goodbye.